3, 2, 1. Hi everybody, this is Corrupted Yeegs here. I'm just here to talk to you about that direct partner showcase that happened here yesterday at the time of the recording and my thoughts on it. Going off first with that direct, you had the announcement of the 2 new Monster Hunter games, which didn't really come to a surprise to a lot of people. They seem to have been expecting those. So the first one, you did have Monster Hunter Rise. For me, I thought the graphics, specifically the character models, looked interesting. They definitely made me think that they were from like the early 2010s. Definitely not anything to write home about, especially considering some of the other games that we've seen run on the Switch. I don't know if they just did that in order to try to maximize frame rate, things like that. But yeah, I don't know. I thought the character models seemed a little lacking. But I thought the second one for Monster Hunter Stories definitely looked a lot cleaner. And maybe it's because it looked more cel shaded, a little bit more of that animated cartoony style, and that's why. I don't know. I also thought the stories seemed also more, enticing than the first one. Granted, I guess it should come with a caveat that I haven't played any of the other Monster Hunter series. It was just never anything that ever caught my attention. So maybe it's something I should give it a whirl and see what happens. But yeah, definitely the graphics for Monster Hunter Rise seemed a little bit subpar in my honest opinion. So then next we had Fitness Boxing 2. I guess there was a Fitness Boxing 1. You gotta work on your hooks and your punches and your ducks, and you have your own personal trainer and all that good stuff. And they added new trainers, and there's little remixes, and you can be the pinnacle of health and wellness. And I guess that's great for those of you who like to be fit. If you get this, you probably also own Ring Fit Adventure, I would imagine. So yeah, I guess that's great for those of you who like that sort of stuff. For me, I have my sweet old dad bod, so that's definitely not my thing. But if you're into that stuff, if you want to work out while you play video games, I guess definitely check out Fitness Boxing 2. After that, there was Disgaea 6, Defiance of Destiny. Apparently they're all the way up to 6. I know they had a sale actually on Steam for the other ones not too long ago, and I mean probably within last week. I do enjoy games when they start going over the top and get a little wacky like that, just because you just never know where it's going to go, and it just gets ridiculous, and you're just like, what the hell's going on? But obviously there is that caveat. There's a sweet spot, and so it'll be interesting to see whether or not Defiant 6 really hits that sweet spot, or if it just keeps going and going. So I know basically for the premise of this game, you're this undead zombie, you come back to life, and then each time you die, you keep coming back stronger and stronger, and I guess, it's things like you can keep going up to level, basically, I think it was like 1 million or 1 billion. It was something like that, and you can do damage in the quadrillions, things of that nature. Like it really gets, I guess, as they said, wacky and zany. So if you're into that sort of stuff, or if you're a fan of the series, then yeah, you're probably definitely going to want to check this out. Next, they talked about Hades. So again, Dungeon Crawler, they've talked about this for a while now, definitely for several months. And so it's already out, came out yesterday. And if you didn't pre-order it, then you're lucky because it's already on sale on Steam. So that's definitely something you can go ahead and check out if you have a PC that can run it. If not, you can always just get it on the Switch. After that, there was Empire of Sin. It's a mafia game where you basically go ahead and you take on Capone and, do your stereotypical mafia things where you hustle, cheat, lie, shoot it up. All that stuff takes place in the 1920s, obviously with Capone. With the, not necessarily game mechanics, but just the overall look of it, didn't really pull me in, especially like with how the voice acting worked with the character models. It just seemed a little off. But I know Empire of Sin was one that they talked about, I want to say last year, in some of the directs. Maybe it was like last September's direct they might have talked about it. But I know, I guess if you're into that sort of stuff, but it just seemed a little off for me. I'm pretty sure it's an indie game. Maybe not. I take that back. I don't think it's an indie game. But yeah, just the voice acting and all that just didn't seem to fully match up with the character models and all that, and so it was off-putting for me, and I don't think I could fully sit through this game without wanting to pull out my hair. So that's probably one that I'm going to be avoiding. If you do check it out, you can let me know what you think of it. Next, they talked about Sniper Elite 4. So I thought this one looked super interesting to me. You're in this one, you're on a mission. You end up going to an island off the coast in Italy during World War II. So if you're super into stealth missions and things like that, like me, love being stealthy. If I'm ever doing RPGs, anything like that, and I have the option to do a stealth build, that's typically what I do. It's either stealth build or I'm going in guns blazing. People who are range or magic, whatever, like that's on you, but stealth, love it. It's one of my favorites. You can be a little sneaky boy and then be on your merry way. So lone sniper, you're sabotaging, stealth. It's definitely one that I'm probably going to check out. And honestly, I just love World War II things. World War II games in general. So yeah, definitely looks like one that I will be picking up when it comes out. After that, there was PGA Tour 2K21. There's nothing really to say about it. It's PGA Tour, formerly Tiger Woods. Another golf game. Not much else to say. It's like the FIFAs or the Maddens or NBAs. You know what you're getting. Same thing each year. Next, there was the Long Dark. It was a narrative survival game, I guess, where you get the option where you can focus on either the survival aspect or more of the adventuring and exploring. And I guess it happens in this post-apocalypse due to this electromagnetic storm. And so if you're into the super, super big narrative-focused games, it's definitely one you can check out. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like there's a lot of survival kind of games lately. There are a lot of survival games. There's there's Windbound, if you really want to count Breath of the Wild with the crafting and all that, and those kind of elements, it really kind of kicked off with that, and then just a slew of them since then. But yeah, I'm not super into narrative heavy games, so I probably won't be looking at this. But again, if you happen to check it out, feel free, let me know down in the comments what you think about it. And then after that, they talked about Balan's Wonderworld. So yeah, obviously, I don't know about you guys, I definitely got some hardcore Alice in Wonderland feels. Absolutely hardcore Alice in Wonderland. You can do a brother-sister team, some nice platforming, co-op, different costumes to go ahead and try out different abilities. You collect crystals and statues and all that and keep keep going forward. I would definitely check this game out if you would do co-op. It's definitely one that I might look into because my fiance is not a big gamer, and it is a pain in the butt to try to get her to do anything. But this is definitely one I could probably get her to try out. So that was Balin's Wonderworld. And then the last thing that they had on there to kind of wrap out the Direct was Rune Factory 5. So it was a JRPG, you lose your memory, and you're protecting the town as ranger, and then, in your downtime, you're sitting there, and you're farming, and you're fishing. Basically, I think of this as Harvest Moon with some teen angst, just due to the combat element, and that's going to be coming out this next year. So, if you're a fan of the first one, you can go ahead and check it out. Me, again, I probably won't, just because I'll have a bunch of other stuff on my plate. I try not to get a super heavy backlog. So overall, my thoughts were, it was a pretty decent partner showcase compared to the past ones, like much better than the past ones. There was a wide variety of games from a wide variety of people. I know the first one, it was only like the two companies. And then the second one, it was just pretty heavily focused on like the music style games, it seemed like. But this one seemed to be, there was a lot of different games from a lot of different companies. So yeah, overall, I thought it was a pretty good Direct Mini. Would really love a full-blown Direct, don't get me wrong. I know there are some people that like this style where it's like, hey, these games are coming out pretty quick, compared to the normal Directs where it's like they're coming out in next year sometime, 6 months, versus, hey, it's coming out 2 months down the road. They each kind of have their pros and cons. But yeah, like what were your thoughts on the Direct? Let me know down in the comments. And the last thing for today, it is the 18th, which means Super Mario 3D All-Stars releases today. So I've already gone. I picked up my copy at my local Best Buy. I know I had a bad experience with Walmart where I pre-ordered Link's Awakening Dreamer Edition because that's where I could get it. And then it came in, and they said it was in. I could see that it was in. It said it was there, but they hadn't, checked it or whatever. And so I couldn't get it that day. And I went there like, oh, we haven't gone through it all, even though it's here on the truck. So you'll have to come back tomorrow because it's not ready. It's like, but it's here. I know it's here. Right? Why can't I just go back and grab it, for crying out loud? So I just don't do Walmart anymore, and GameStop's kind of not the greatest here either. But I've never had an issue with Best Buy here, so I usually always go through him. So anyways, though, got this. I will be checking it out later. I can't wait to play Super Mario Sunshine. I was telling one of my buddies that granted, you have 64, which has been on the eShop multiple times on the other consoles. You've had Super Mario Galaxy, which has been on eShops for other consoles. But Sunshine has been the missing one because there haven't been any GameCube ones on any of the eShops. And so you've had to buy the physical copies. And if you wanted to do that, people have been charging an arm and a leg. It's been, $100+ if you wanted to get a copy of Sunshine again. And since this has come out, it's already started to drop the price, like down into the 60s again. So I'm really looking forward to it. I know when I finally get a capture card, I will most likely be streaming it on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/corruptedgeeks. I will make sure to leave a link down in the description, so feel free to check it out. I also do have it on my channel, so feel free to check that out as well. But I do wonder, for the fact that because the 35th anniversary stuff all ends at about March, for two reasons. One, because March Mario, the Mario Day stuff always goes on. That's one possibility. Two is because in February is technically the 35th anniversary of Zelda. And I know last time they had the 30th anniversary, that was the release of Skyward Sword. And I know I got my copy on the Wii, and so I have the orchestra soundtrack and all that. It's great. I still listen to it because it's wonderful. So I'm wondering if that's one reason it's ending then, is so then they'll transition into Zelda's 35th and start doing that stuff. It's also the 4-year anniversary of the Switch at that point. Maybe they'll announce Breath of the Wild 2 around that time. I don't know. Or they're just going to transition into the Mario 10-day, and it's just going to be one long, constant Mario thing. I don't know. But let me know what your thoughts. What do you want to see from the Zelda anniversary? What were your thoughts on the Switch as a whole, or Direct as a whole, excuse me. Let me know down in the comments. And with that, enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to go play some Super Mario Sunshine.